Emily, and we're going to chat all things
Books.
books. I'm so excited. Um, Thanks for
Maybe a little
joining
random
us.
thing.
Yeah, I know. Um, this is something I've wanted to do for quite a while, and so I'm very happy to have my bestie for the past 25 years. Brittany joined me in doing this, and I just want to introduce us in this first episode. We're going to introduce ourselves and chit chat about what to expect with our podcast. So, everybody say hi to Brittany.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so Brittany and I met, 25 years ago almost?
Yeah, almost probably 25 years ago, and I can't remember exactly when or how, but
We don't remember that.
no,
Just,
we were
you've
young.
always been, yeah, you've just always been in my life. So,
Yeah.
but our core memories come from camp.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Michiana Christian Camp. We spent
Shout out.
every summer there and just really grew our friendship,
Exactly.
which was really fun. Brittany is from the 574. Go Irish.
Woo woo.
That whole area. And then, gosh, how long have you been
Yeah.
gone?
I moved to the 904. I moved to Jacksonville, Florida about, let's see, in 2017. So 8 years.
That's insane.
I know. So almost a
I didn't
decade.
realize it's been that long.
Yeah, it's moving fast.
Okay, so you didn't just like leave me. Um,
I left everybody.
she left everybody, but she didn't just like up and decide to go to Jacksonville. She met her now husband when
Yes.
he was up here,
Yes.
and y'all did the long distance thing for a while, right?
Yeah, so we met through work, which we both still work out. I guess shout out to Patterson because, I wouldn't have the love story that I have. But yeah, he was traveling for work and we did long distance for a year. And then I decided to move to Florida, uproot my whole life for a man,
She did. She
which it
did.
worked
And
out perfectly.
honestly, I'm glad it did because if it didn't, like if you moved to Florida and then things didn't work out
Hmm.
and you stayed in Florida, I would have been like, ooh,
What are
where'd
you
my girl
doing?
go?
Right. No, it
But
was it was worth it.
yeah. But I still see you often and
Hmm.
we still chit chat often.
Yes.
Um, Anytime we travel to Florida quite a bit, and anytime we go to Florida, we always like to try and stop through Jacksonville, whether it's just to eat lunch,
Hmm.
um, or go to the beach together or something. We love to stop through, and anytime you're up here, we
Yeah.
still make
I have to
time.
say that I really appreciate that. It's rare that anyone comes and visits me right now. Sorry, friends and family, but Emily is always a constant. She literally comes once a year, and so I appreciate that.
Unless we're flying. We did just fly to Orlando, and so therefore we were able to make the pit stop. But
But
you're
you did
literally
come last year.
We did. And we're gonna see you soon in a few
Yes.
months. So,
Yep.
um, we didn't make that pit stop, but we always try to. You're on the way, so we might as well.
Northern Florida.
So you moved to Florida, you found your hubby, you got married, and now you have a little one.
I do. We have a 7 month old. He is almost 8 months, but we're going through the thick of it. Motherhood.
Yeah, you're in it.
I'm in
You're
it.
deep. Okay, so um,
Tell me about yourself.
well, wait a minute. I got to meet Harrison when he was itty bitty. What was he? 4 weeks old?
Yeah, he was born
Six.
in June, and we saw you for 4th of July, so about 3, 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yes, he was itty bitty, and now I see pictures of him, and he's ooh, in like my favorite stage, which
Hmm.
is the I'm curious, but I still love mom.
Hmm.
Chunky. I love to eat those bellies and the thighs. Like, give me all the baby squish. Oh,
Yep,
that's
I
like one
am
of
in
my
the thick
favorite
of
parts.
babyhood.
I don't miss teething, and I don't miss up and down throughout the night. That's for sure.
We were on a solid schedule, and then all of a sudden It changed. He's
I have
changing. He's
always
evolving.
I have always told my friends, because out of all my friends, I was the first to get married and the first to have babies.
Yes, you were.
And I always joked that my kids will basically be babysitting y'all's kids.
Hmm.
We're almost to that point, I feel like.
The nice part
Oh,
about your kids is they can keep them company, like when we're
yes.
together.
Yes. I was gonna say that one of my things I always told my friends was that once you get on a schedule and a routine and you get used to that, it's just gonna
Hmm.
change again.
Yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
that's what your schedule is. You're getting used to a routine only for it to change all over again.
I can deal with like the day-to-day stuff. It's the nighttime because when I don't get sleep, I'm a little cranky.
Yeah. I Justin was better about waking up at night than I was. He'd be like,
Yeah.
"You don't hear them?" And I'm like, "No, I'm tired."
Oh, yeah. That's Benjamin. He doesn't hear anything.
Um, anything else you want to you have dogs. You have two dogs.
I do. I have two, as I like to say, Floridian Huskies because they don't like the cold. They appreciate it for a little bit, but usually they're sunbathing outside.
Mm.
I have a female. I'm looking at her right now. She's 10, and then she's about to be 11. And then we have Kaiser, which is the traditional husky, the black and white, and he is, no, actually, sorry, she's 11 and he's 10. So,
Oh, are they not like siblings? Are they?
no, they're more like lovers.
They're not from. You didn't get them from the same
Nope,
people. And
no. Benjamin actually had him first, and
that's what I was gonna say.
Callie's older. She is 11. He's 10. So,
Okay. One of my favorite things about Brittany, and like when I think about Brittany, is I know I'm gonna have a good time. And I know that most of the time I'm gonna be laughing. I was telling Paige that yesterday. I'm like, I think back to all my memories with Brittany, and we're always laughing about
yes.
something. Like Brittany just brings you're witty, you're very quick with your wit. Although I really do miss the saying I'm fuller.
Oh, I
I
miss
can't
it
say
too.
that anymore.
No, I say I'm used to be Fuller.
Oh, okay.
Yes, Fuller was my maiden name. So,
Anytime somebody would be like eating, she'd be like, oh, I'm so full. And she'd be like, I'm fuller. It was so quick. And it was great. Just like Brittany is witty and hilarious, and it's a great time.
oh,
Um,
I'm in my PP. Don't make me cry.
you're in your what?
I should have said PP. Postpartum.
Oh, there you go.
You're gonna make me
Oh,
cry. Thank you. That was so nice. Yeah, I actually love humor. I use it as like to make people laugh and probably also to like divert from my real feelings.
coping mechanism.
Yeah, it's inherited. I think my brother and my father do it too.
Yeah. Oh, man.
My
So
mom, I
that's
was
one
on the
thing.
phone with her and she was like, "What are you gonna be a famous podcaster now?" I was like,
We're
"Yeah,
like, only if you watch. You gotta
yeah."
watch, Mom.
Shout out
Oh,
Cynthia.
man. Cynthia. I love your mom. So, okay, so I'm Emily, and I'm kind of like, I guess I'd say I had the first heart in this podcast. So I'm like super, I was like my idea. I'm like, I need somebody to do this with me. So shout out to Brittany for hopping along. But I have really looked forward to doing this. I stay at home with my kids. I've been married what will be 10 years this February.
Wow.
I've known my husband like all my life. He was my brother's best friend. um, I've read books kind of like that, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, we're about to celebrate 10 years of marriage, 11 years together, and we have two kids. So, like I said, I had kids. I got married and had kids before any of my friends.
Hmm.
So, my oldest is going to be 9 this year, and my youngest just turned 7.
Wow.
So, while you're in the thick of newborn life and
Yeah.
motherhood, I am in the thick of attitudes and homework and sass and managing like how much gaming is allowed. Like, it's so weird. I'm like, just read a book.
So crazy at that
Oh,
age.
I know. So, we stay pretty busy. I'm actually currently homeschooling both kids. I hope to send them both back next year. We gave the homeschooling a whirl, and I need time to myself. It's just like you are always with your kids. So,
Hmm.
yeah, we're living a busy life. We stay busy, we stay active. We've got tons of animals. Two dogs. We have a full blood corgi and a full blood French bulldog. Our corgi, his name is Dave, and then we have Jimmy Buffett. That's our French bulldog, and then we have Mario, which is a fluffy orange cat, aka Broccoli. Shout out to the Fourth Wing peeps. And then we have a bearded dragon named Zilla. That's my son's. And we also have two rabbits. My daughter got two bunnies for Christmas. So we have Luna Lovegood and Junie B. Jones. So Luna and
Oh,
Junie.
two great names.
So I live in a zoo, which is why I need coffee all the time.
Soon she's gonna be having cows and chickens.
No cows. Don't want to do cows. Tempted on chickens.
Chickens, yes. Chickens are good.
My brother and sister-in-law have like 40 chickens.
40? That's a lot of chickens.
Yep.
Have you ever seen that video of that little girl? She's like, look at all these chickens. That's funny.
Okay. So we talked about how we met, kind of the stuff we did. A lot of stuff at camp. Remember some good times at Cedar Point.
Oh,
Oh, man. Sleepovers at my house. Good times with my parents, I feel like.
yes.
My house was like the house that everybody came to. I had sleepovers and stuff, but my house was really the one where we all gravitated to, and especially because Brittany lived in South Bend, and I lived like 20 minutes away from you. We went to different schools,
Yeah.
but you knew a lot of like the North Liberty peeps because of camp and church, and so when you came to me, you kind of got everybody. You got
Yep.
to see people, or we'd have a sleepover at my house, or whatever it is we did. So we did spend a lot more time like my way, unnecessarily. I always think of, I don't know. We went out to dinner somewhere and we came back and there was a snake. Do you remember the snake?
No. Yeah.
There was a snake slithering around on
In
our
your
sidewalk.
driveway?
Yeah, and my dad goes out with his flip-flops and just stomps on it, and you're like, he did not just do that. And flip-flops gets a shovel and just like cuts the head off. And you're like, what is going
Well,
on?
yeah, a good snake is a dead one. So, I mean,
Yeah. No snakes here, please.
that's
Oh,
funny.
man.
There's probably memories I remember that you don't and vice versa.
Yeah.
So,
I don't remember a lot of my childhood, I feel like. But I remember but I remember plenty. And I
yeah.
remember like specific things too.
Yeah. I feel
I
like
think
the
that's just
staple
part
of
of,
our friendship is around camp. Like
yeah.
that was a time when I miss it a lot. Is a time like I that's like that was our time.
Yeah.
Like that's a time like every summer I look forward to. It was just a great place to go. Um and
Spend a week together.
I'm hoping one day like I can send Harrison there. So
Yeah. Oh,
we'll see. I'll have to
that's
come
so
visit.
fun.
Obviously, all my family still lives in South Bend. So maybe I'll
Mm-hmm.
take a vacation and drop him off and then just stay in South Bend.
There you go. Just come to family camp. They do like weekends where they do like family camp where people
That's
can
true.
stay in the cabins or your own campers and stuff. That'd be
That's
fun.
awesome. Yeah, no, Michiana is really like trying to do more. So that's awesome for them.
Yeah. Um. Okay, so let's talk books a little
Books.
bit. Um. When did you get into reading?
When did I get into reading? Probably about 3 years ago.
And were you always kind of a reader, but you like hadn't read in a while, or were you never a
No,
reader?
no, I was never a reader. I did not like reading at all.
So did you start like reading or more audiobooks first?
I
what
can't
book
remember
did you
what
start with?
I can't remember what series. So there's the After series that I read. That I actually read. I have the books. And you guys will realize I am not a physical book reader. I don't like having physical books because I'm a mess, and I have a feeling I will rip them apart on accident. And I have no place for them. And now I have a baby, and he will definitely want them. Anyways, I actually have those physical copies. I read those. But what really got me into it is I listened to the Harry Potter series. I was thoroughly impressed by the narrator. I can't think of his name right now. I think it's Jim something.
He was like an older guy, right?
Yeah, and he did all the voices so well. I was so impressed. I obviously I've seen the movies and I saw the
Mm-hmm.
movies first, and now I'm like, buy movies. I like the books 1,000 times better. Because when the books came out, we were young. I think we were in like
We
elementary school.
we grew up with Harry. We were like Daniel Radcliffe age. So
Yeah.
like reading those were kind of like I remember the smart kids were reading
Yes.
those.
Yes.
Like
The
not
smart
me.
kids. Yeah. So in elementary school, when they came out, they were like, like this thick. And I was like, who's reading that? Like fifth graders are reading these kind of books. I'm out here with Judy
Give me
B.
a picture
Jones.
book.
Yeah.
or Judy Bloom. There was another
Judy B.
series
Jones. Oh,
it was
yeah.
Judy B. Jones, but there was another one that I liked too. Judy
But
Bloom or
yeah,
something.
Harry
I don't
Potter is
remember.
what really started it off for me. So, and then I just
Okay,
went
so
from
it's
there.
funny you say Harry Potter started off for you because I've been listening to the audiobooks with my kids
Hmm.
and we're currently on book 3. I love the older guy that's reading it, except for, and it drives me crazy, his Hermione voice.
It's very like,
Harry. It's very whiny for her.
yeah.
And like he does a great job, but I'm just like whine a little less. But
But I think it's
that's
because she
beside.
is kind of whiny.
Yeah, I think her character is, and I think they did show that a little bit in the movie,
Oh,
just not as emphasized as he did.
yeah. So Jim
Just because
Dale
she.
is his name.
Okay, Jim Dale.
Oh,
Shout out Jim Dale. Are we gonna listen to it?
I accidentally hit play.
Oh, that's so funny.
Whoops. What about
Okay, so
you? What?
we're on the third book. We really like that, but
Oh, okay.
my kids. I will say though, my kids have seen all the movies,
Hmm.
and Cooper. While we love the movies, Cooper has discovered that you get so much more information from the books, and so
Yeah.
we've really enjoyed. Um, if my kids are bickering and arguing and driving me crazy, I will put the speaker on, like in a car ride. If I want silence, I need to put a Harry Potter book on, and they are silent.
Yeah.
And we'll get home, and they'll be like, "Can we keep listening to it?" I'm like, "Absolutely."
I
So,
think that's like what I realized, same as like Cooper, and Cooper's 9, and I'm a little bit older than Cooper. But I that's what like what he's saying is like you discover so much more in a book than the movie. And like especially like Harry Potter, you learn a lot more about Tom Riddle, and I love that. I love
yeah,
that
and
backstory.
even like Hagrid, like Cooper was like, "I didn't know that about Hagrid." And I'm like,
Hmm.
"You get more info in the books." But
Exactly.
okay, my I will say I started reading maybe 2 years ago. I've always been a reader. Life got really busy and hectic, so I hadn't really picked up a book. I will say, most like 90% of the books I was reading before the past 2 years would be something historical fiction or historical nonfiction, specifically the World War II genre.
Mm.
Like, I loved reading stories about the Holocaust. For me, it was like, you survived and you wrote a book about it. Like, I've got to read
Yeah.
it. Like, I got to keep your story alive. So, a lot of the books I was reading was in that category. However, I started getting a little more into trying some other things. What really kicked my gear into reading was Fourth Wing and Iron Flame.
Yep.
And I read those the beginning of last year. I had read a few other things and I was like, you know what? This title, like the page of Fourth Wing, like the little
Hmm.
image, It's like, I don't know, it looks interesting. Well, let me try it out. It doesn't. I went in knowing nothing. I didn't know it was
Wow.
fantasy. I didn't know anything about it, and I was hooked.
I should have told you to read it like a
Forever
year
ago.
ago. Yeah, my bad.
Thanks for that. It's
It's
okay.
funny because it was presented to me too, and I was like, like fantasy's not my thing. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, thinking about it, like I don't think I ever read fantasy other than Harry. I've never read the Harry Potter books. I'm only on book 3 with my kids. Like I'm reading those along with them. I watched all the movies. I knew the general story, but this is newer than I'm actually reading the books.
oh, so
So
you
other
don't
than
know what I'm talking about as far as like Tom Riddle and stuff.
yeah, I we've never read them all.
Oh,
So
okay.
which
I
has
thought
been a
maybe you
fun
have.
journey. No, nope. It's been a fun journey to do along with my kids, but other than like Harry Potter, Twilight,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think what else. I can't even really think of anything else at the top of my head. Like I hadn't
Never,
dipped my
never heard
toes in.
Twilight.
Did you say you never heard of Twilight?
No, I've never read Twilight.
Okay, that's a conversation for another time. That was like I read those in like high school, but oh, Hunger Games, like that kind of stuff. Like I had never really like dipped my toes in fantasy, so Fourth Wing did it for me. Um, but yeah.
Same. I mean, I've
So
never
what
read
kind of books
fantasy either.
you have now?
Well, I guess Harry Potter, is that considered fantasy?
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So yeah, I've read Harry Potter, but it's a different type of fantasy.
It is. It's good. Okay, so what do you like to read now?
I am a romance girly. I love I love Hallmark movies. I love a feel good ending. I think just because it's an escape, right? So that's the whole point of like books and why people love them. But yeah, I love romance. It's usually what I gravitate towards. I am stepping out. I mean, I've read thriller and I've read some more fantasy books, but I gravitate towards romance normally.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I like romance. I think I gravitate more towards fantasy mystery thriller. It would be fantasy slash thriller, which I think is kind of like mystery and thriller just kind of go hand in hand,
Hmm.
I think. Um, so
I can't handle these
for
cliffhangers.
I if the book is gonna twist, I love a good twist.
Yeah.
I'm very like I'm good at predicting what's gonna happen. So if you
Hmm.
get me through the ending and I'm shook at the way it twisted, job well done. That's
Right.
probably a 5-star read for me.
5 stars.
um, okay, so let's just talk about real quick what to expect on the show, what we're going to talk about. We kind of just discussed like our different genres we enjoy, which kind of are all over the board. So
Hmm.
basically, that's what you're going to get, right? Um, we're going to discuss different books we've read. We do plan on doing a Fourth Wing, Iron Flames, Onyx Storm series of episodes. That is something that will be in the works. I know everybody's out there right now discussing Onyx Storm.
Yep.
Kind of like we're ready to discuss, but I kind of that'll be coming a little bit later just because it's so hyped right now.
Hmm.
Like Brittany loves to deep dive into some of those
Theories.
theories.
Oh yeah. I love it.
She's always sending them to me, and I'm kind of like, okay, I need to reread again, and I want to like I want to see what I think
Hmm.
before hearing like everything else. But yes, we're gonna discuss books. We'll probably chit chat a little bit about current reads and whatever else. We also have not one but 2 authors who we're gonna do interviews with and discuss their books. So hopefully that number will continue to grow.
Hmm.
But yeah, and we'll probably chit chat about mom stuff, mom life a little bit.
Yeah. Throw that in the mix. Because that's the whole thing, right? Like, we need a little bit of escape. And
Yeah,
so we sit down with a book and see where it takes us.
Exactly. Brittany and I will text nonstop about books, and
Yep.
when we've read something to like the same book, but like the other person's reading, somebody's always blowing the other one up, like what, and we're just kind of like can't ruin it.
So
Although
she meant to say that she reads the books 10 times faster than me because she listens to it on 2.5 speed,
I not always.
where I'm at
A
one.
couple reads. Yeah, a couple reads lately. It depends on the reader, I think, who's reading it, because sometimes it's just too fast, and other
Mm,
times it's like I'm not losing anything by the speed. So,
right.
yeah. Anywho, that's basically just a simple intro episode. We just wanted to kind of tell you about ourselves, tell you about books, what to expect from the podcast, and yeah, episode 1 complete. Be
Woo!
sure to go follow us on our Instagram, the Stacking Spines podcast on Instagram. That's our handle, and then like and subscribe, leave reviews. That is how
Don't be
we
too mean.
do it. Right? Don't be too mean. If you don't like us or anything we talk about, you're free to scroll on by.
Yeah.
Right?
Scroll on.
uh, so, anywho, that's what we have for the episode 1.
Yeah. That was
All right,
easy.
episode 2, we're gonna chit chat favorite and least favorite current or recent reads. Right?
Right.
All right, sounds good. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.